All right, guys, so we're checking out the Whitman Tailwind, but this is the Bush variant, okay? So I've already been looking at it a little bit here with the stream. We got a bunch of guys with us live here. So if you're missing out on the old live stream, always, anybody can join us. So feel free to come fly if you're watching on YouTube. Anyway, so we're going to take a look at the Tailwind. As most people know, we do the national eSTOL competitions. So whenever I see a new bush plane come into the simulator, I've got to take a look at it because, you know, not only am I addicted to flying bush planes, but, you know, I have to test them out. So I have the regular Whitman Tailwind. This is different, definitely different. Probably a lot of reused things, but it's pretty cool. It's unique, definitely, to say the least. So let's get this thing started up, and we're in South Africa, and we're gonna fly up north. Now, anyone in the Twitch stream, fly me to the moon. I think I answered your question, but yes, anyone can come fly with us, and that definitely includes you. Oh, that's the throttle. Okay, so let's turn the fuel on to center, battery, avionics, alternator, alternator. Let's see, nav lights. Probably don't need all this stuff on, but so I don't forget to turn it on later. Landing lights, whatever, we'll turn them on. Lantern, no. Doors, oh. Interesting. Does the sound change when we open the door? Let's test that. Can't tell. We'll have to wait. I don't think it's going to, though. Doesn't feel like it will. Fuel pump on for now. And then floodlight. Oh my god, it's kind of bright, but I like it. Now, I haven't read the manual. I'm not one to really get into reading manuals all the time, so the sound, this plane's like $8 or $9 out the door, I think, for USD. Sound is recycled sound, but it seems to fit. Camera position, not in the center, so I'm taking points off for that. Oh. Oh, come on. At least the zoom's not whacked out, but come on, you can't be putting me in the center of your plane, buddy. Why don't people pay more attention to that? That's one of the most heinous of acts, if you ask me. Camera position seems a little too high. Not by much, though, but just a bit. Alright, let's control F10 that shit, and then I'll fix it later. I make my own camera positions. But anyway, high CHT, temperature Y. Enter. Interesting would be if we find out, does it have a GPS, like a autopilot? I can't remember if the regular tail. Does anyone in chat from Twitch know if this thing has? Oh, a little pro tip here, by the way, guys. If you want to use your keyboard to type in the old GNS 530, you can just do that. You can just click on it with your mouse. It'll turn blue, and then bam, click it again. Good to go. I was amazed when somebody showed me that. It's Chill Maze, actually. Alright, it does have a camping mode. So if you wanted to go camping, I don't think you probably have to have it off, but okay. Alright, so what do we have here? We have textures on the inside, pretty similar to what was in the regular Tailwind. So if you have that, not too much different. I guess these ladders are supposed to come out, which is interesting. Let's find out if the doors do change. Okay, no, sound doesn't change when you open the doors, so just turn your volume up a little bit and you'll be happy. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like when developers don't do stuff like that. I feel like they're just like, that's fine. They can just turn their volume up if they want it to change. Like Kevin from The Office. Fly Me to the Moon is here. All right, brother. Okay, so maybe I lied about the camera being too low because now or too high because now it feels too low. I'm very picky about my cameras, by the way, if you haven't been able to tell that. All right, let's see the STOL capabilities. We have 8 knots of headwind right here. Brakes seem okay. They seem all right. It looks like the radials on the tires are a little off. It looks like because like they have to put the correct radial of the tire for the roll to look correct, and they seem off. So that's kind of different, but. Oh shit. I thought we were gonna have more power than that. That was a terrible takeoff. Alright, so like uniqueness factor, definitely unique. Definitely unique. Is it blowing my mind? No, of course not. We knew it wouldn't. Alright, gotta fix my gotta fix my camera a little bit. Don't worry about it. Listen. Don't worry about it. I'm fixing my camera. Okay, so let's see. Do I have the full version of the Huey? Yes, I do. Toto Africa, we gotta get the music back on, even though YouTube won't be able to hear it, but that's fine. YouTube's pretty used to not having music, but yeah, guys on Twitch though, if you don't know I have a YouTube channel, I try to post a couple videos a week, and a lot of times it's testing out planes and things like that, so you may be interested in that. If you are, check it out. There we go. I think that's going to be the perfect camera view until, I mean, as long as it's good when I'm on the ground, or I mean, as long as it's good when I'm in the sky, that's all that matters. Kind of foggy out here. All right, so I will say it is too weird. It's too weird without the doors on for me to leave the doors off. The sound just doesn't sound right. So it's going to kind of ruin the immersion of it. So I'm putting the doors back on. And for, you know, $8, I can't. Do I think people should charge more money and just make a better plane? Yes. But it's unique enough to where it's kind of interesting, so I'll take it. And I will say, I did my first ever race with Forder Learn to Fly. Him and I actually raced at Oshkosh a few months ago, and he beat me 2 out of 3 heats. And dude, the last one, it was so close. My heart was pounding like crazy. So, let's see, who do we got flying with us? We got Blitz, we got Isaac Flyer. So we've been doing group flights in the RV8 tonight, which I'll have I'll have a video coming out about the RV8 in a little while. Just had to do this one real quick. So we got RV8, we've been flying it all night. I think Blitz is probably still in it. Nope, actually switched over to a bush plane. Because we're in a bush plane, so that makes sense. What's my speed though? Yeah, I gotta watch my speed here, because this thing has a top speed of 200, which, I mean, I think it's I guess it's probably normal, because this plane, the regular Whitmans do about that speed, I think. Let's see here. So circuit breakers don't work. We probably figured that, but let's see here. Panel lights. That's cool. It's got some panel lights and stuff like that. So if you're looking for top of the line though, definitely not top of the line. And but for $8, it's a nice little aircraft to try. I'm interested in seeing what the hell is this contraption here. Anybody know what this is? Oh, ailerons. Probably flaps. Yep. I never noticed that in the regular Tailwind. I'm sure it's there. I just never noticed it. Man, look at this fog. This is on live weather too. Can't believe it. So we are in South Africa. And if you didn't know, South Africa has some really nice places to fly. So as per usual though, when we're checking out a new plane, we have to take a look at some of the liveries. Also, before we do that though, we gotta see if the navigation works. let's see. It doesn't seem like it's working, but it might not track that far. Let's see. Do I have a mod for Cape Town? Is this Are we in Cape Town? Yeah. I mean, I don't have a mod for it necessarily. I have an airport there, which doesn't seem like there was one there, but I guess I didn't look that hard. But yeah, so I have an airport there, but it's a sim airport, and then I have no mod. It's probably what you're probably seeing is the Bing data latest. The new maps that everybody was raving about a couple months ago, or last month. I've kept it on the whole time. I love it. I won't fly without it. And so that's probably what you're seeing, the differences there. So let's talk about, so we talked about the sound. Sound is, you know, canned sound is, I mean, Asobo did some good sound packs, so I guess if you can use it, if it makes sense. I'm not sure what kind of engine is in here, and for $8, I'm not going to look it up. And I don't want to sound rude, but I know there's going to be people that are interested in this plane because some people do like those, you know, those cheaper aircraft. And I'm sure we'll get the question, hey, is this going to be allowed in eSTOL? Maybe we won't. But yeah, I mean, like the textures here, like that's an $8 texture for sure. And I really hate, yeah, I really hate sounding like a jerk or something like that, but you know, I mean, you got to give credit where it's due, and there's not a lot of credit due on this. But it is fun though, and I will say that I like the Tailwind, but yeah, don't come into this expecting the world, and then you'll be fine. I like the regular Tailwind though, and there is enough decent liveries where I think it might be. Now, when I say decent, I don't mean quality. I mean, you know, they look cool. If you get down into the nitty-gritty and get real close with it, you might not think it looks so great. But it's kind of interesting, this one here. See, now this livery was done. This livery's good. This livery was definitely done with substance. Weird that they would it's really weird that they would release some liveries that had nice texture. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, this livery was almost guaranteed to have been done by substance, because you can actually see like the channel, the PBR channels, like the grit, the grime, the little scratches and stuff like that. Wow, interesting. Okay, so it gets another point. Same with this one. Okay, this livery is decent too. Okay, well that brings it up a notch in my book. That's why you got to watch the whole video or stick around for the whole stream of a certain plane, you know, because you never know. Blitz, later on, buddy. Have a good night. Thank you for flying with us, bro. It's weird that this one is the same scheme as the, well, similar scheme to the other ones. Come on now. All right, this one's nicely textured too. Cool. Yeah, that actually makes me like it a lot more. So I take back some of the mean stuff I said. And at the end of the day, I'm never really trying to be mean. It just happens to be that way sometimes. This is interesting. Interesting livery, okay. On to the next. Yes, Fly Me to the Moon. The Bing maps are great. I would not fly without them. I don't, I think it was like Island Sim Pilot or whatever was the one that kind of brought the YouTuber. I wouldn't fly without them anymore. I don't, let's say if I forget to turn them on, which you're supposed to restart your sim. This one has simple textures, no dirt. I guess I guess they could be calling this a clean texture, with no like wear and tear or whatever, but it's still like, you can, especially on the black one, you can really see like right here. See that? I mean, what is that? Is this supposed to be like cheetah underwear, like leopard's print? You know, I don't know, and I doubt it. But yeah, the Bing maps, like we've tested. Oh, so when I first got the Bing Maps thing, we tested it. Well, I've had it before and I've already deleted it, but I never used the Bing Maps, right? And this was like last year or sometime I had it before. And then when I used the Bing Maps latest, see, this livery looks a little nicer. This one looks like it was done. That's kind of weird. The quality control on this thing is kind of weird. But you know, do you see what I mean though? Like the textures, these clean ones, they look good, but they look really thin for some reason. And I don't know what the deal is. Tires look good though. I will say that. Oh, I wonder if it's got nitrous. Gotta find out. Oh yeah, dude. Let's see, is this got... Oh yeah, this one's got texture to it. It looks like it was done in Substance or some similar program. Okay, that's probably the one we're gonna come back to. All right, got a couple more to check out here. So I always do, if you like to see the liveries on my YouTube videos, I always go through the liveries, you know, because I think that's important for people. Yeah, I mean, everybody's like, well, I fly from the inside. I don't care what my livery looks like. Come on. You know, when you're by yourself, you're going into third person and looking at the livery every once in a while, or at least when you get down to the ground. Yeah, so these liveries are a little better. The black ones, so the shiny ones that are more gray or black, they really look like they have some kind of issue with them. Hey, good morning, SWS. Yo, we literally just got out of the RV8 because I got to kind of end stream sometime soon. We had a blast in that thing, bro. You know, I've been flying it for like 6 months, you know, doing beta testing and stuff. And I had such a good time in that plane tonight. So we're actually just looking at this. I'm doing a little YouTube video, but yeah, the RV8 was awesome. I mean, I already knew that, obviously. People love the smoke. People love the smoke. What else? I think we had at one time 8 RV8s that were in with us. So we're just taking a look at the quality. They better hire me for quality control. But it's not bad, and I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude at all, but this plane here is, you know, it's an $8 plane. What can you say? But there are actually some decently, has this one got texture to it? No. Well, maybe kind of, but it doesn't have that like flat textured look. It's a cool livery though. Reminds me of Anov. Shout out to Anov if you watch this later. What was the Tundra? I don't understand the Tundra. Oh, it just must be the name. Thought maybe the tires were bigger. Yeah, so we're gonna go with this one. But you see, this one has like texture to it. It does, dude. It really does. That's funny. Yeah, but no, yeah, definitely. I don't know if I still have it pinned or not. Well, I had a link pinned all night to your website so people could get the SWS RV8. But if you guys are just getting in here, though, SimWorks Studios probably already know. No. Well, I'll be Kentuckied. That's what happens when you switch your liveries. Okay, YouTube, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. We loaded back in. We gotta hop back into our Zebra Mobile and get down to Cape Town. I think we'll just spawn on Terrible Guitarist because he was right with us. There we go. I suppose your livery system knows where to find them, but I know better better than to trust it. Yeah, because I made my livery a long time ago, though. I mean, I literally the day I got it, I started making a livery, and basically I color changed the red one with the star on the back. I can't remember what the IKO is for it, but I just color changed that and made it my own. I'll show it to you if I don't know if you have time to stick around for a minute, but I'll show it to you. Party foul. Oh, my little nav maps is going to be frozen. That's the one downfall about using little nav maps on another computer, on a separate computer. It always freezes when your sim freezes. And the only way to make it work again, as far as I know, is to do what I just did, end task on both sides. Oh, that's a little tiny rudder. bad. No, this plane's not as bad as I was just kind of joking around about it earlier. It's not terrible. It's an $8 plane. It's pretty decent. And the only reason I chose to buy it was because I want to make sure that I show you guys the plane. And then also, I did like the Tailwind. I mean, you can't go wrong with a plane that you can race in and bush in at the same time. And I mean, I will never forget the very first and probably the only ever race I'll do. When I was talking about earlier with Forder Learn to Fly, him and I raced, and I mean it was funny because, okay, we started to stream out. Oh, nice. I won't be here that long, but you can definitely stay that long if you want to. No, I'll probably be on for another hour and a half or something like that. But yeah, so we made this big thing and we made a big deal about it. Forder Learn to Fly is another Twitch streamer, and I think he does YouTube as well. He is an IRL CFI. So anyway, he asked me, he's like, hey, do you have the Tailwind? And I'm like, no, I don't plan on getting it either. And he's like, well, you should get it. And I'm like, why? What do you want me to grab it for? You know, just kind of asking him what he was thinking, you know. And he's like, well, I want to race you. And I'm like, what? Forder wants to race me. It was the most random thing, I think. But I said, okay, I'll get it. You know, I'm like, what's your idea? He's like, well, I want to race at Oshkosh. You and me, head to head, we'll race. And I'm like, okay. So we kind of hyped it up and, you know, made flyers and stuff like that. So we get into the race, right? And Forder's talking to his stream, and I think I was just there on Discord, so my voice was coming across. And Forder's like talking to his stream, talking about, he's like, yeah, I don't really like racing that much, you know. I never really got into it. He's like, what are you gonna do? Just turn left? You know, keep on turning left. He's like, it's boring. I'll fall asleep. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why the hell are we racing then? Because I think the same exact thing about air racing. It's so boring. It is so boring, man. Unless you're there watching it in real life, you know. But it's just the same thing over and over again. I'd much rather do eSTOL, you know. And now make sure you guys understand. I'm not talking about real life air racing. I'm talking about sim air racing is not fun to me. If I had a DOF reality, you know, like full motion simulator or something. I mean, you know, by the way, newest sponsor for National eSTOL DOF Simulations. Signed him on for the next the whole rest of the season. So SWS has been a great sponsor of eSTOL in the past as well. One of the developers that were in the first group of people to sponsor that, so it's very cool. All right, who's got the sound bug? Got a sound bug going on. Who is it? I've been squashing the sound bugs. So we got Terrible in the Rands. Another cool developer too, by the way. Flyboy Sim, the Rands. He's coming with a Rands S21 soon. Wow. So Nick, that's so weird. The Huey sound bug was not that bad, and now all of a sudden it's. So I don't know if you can hear. Let me quiet down for a minute and pause the music. Do you hear like the You can hear the Huey in my cockpit, right? Can't hear it here. But it's kind of like the Azure Polytransol. When that had a sound bug, they've since fixed it, which is awesome. But yeah, I don't know why these planes do it, but I've been reaching out to all the developers and having them fix it. But basically, as a streamer, I turn down, when we do group flights, I turn down other aircraft engines or other aircraft sound or whatever, something like that. But it will turn down 99% of all the aircraft that are flying with you, so that way, you know, I can, just in case someone wants to do flybys over and over again, which happens. That way, like, I don't have to kind of just listen to that the whole time, and I can have it down a little bit. But what happens is when these planes have these sound bugs, it's something to do with the routing for WISE and XML. So something that really, I know there's a few developers that have fixed it so far. And I don't think it's really anything that the developer has done. I think it's more along the lines of something changed with the base sim, and it's causing these things to happen, because most of these didn't have any problems until sim update 14. And when sim update 14 came around, now it's like all these aircraft have this issue, and so yeah. Yeah, and it's mostly, but not completely, because the Flying Iron Sims 109 does it, and the 109 is bad because the 109 is so loud, which it's a great aircraft. I love Flying Iron. I think they have the best warbirds. You can't beat it. But that 109 is just so overpowering, and so like some are worse than others. Like, okay, for instance, Colin Sim had this issue, right? And so I talked to Josh and told him, hey, you got a couple issues with your planes, and I explained to him, Got Friends had it. A lot of people have had it. SimWorks, I don't think you guys have had it yet. I haven't noticed. Let's see. Colin Sim had it, and Colin Sims was probably one of the worst ones, along with Azure Poly with the Transall C160, because as long as they were within name tag shot, I guess you could say, like as long as they could be over at Mary Lou Russell's house getting a chicken sandwich 200,000 miles away, well, whatever. They could be a couple hundred miles away or however far you can see name tags, but if I can see their name tag, so essentially if they're loaded into multiplayer with me, I will hear their plane over mine. But most of it has to do, for some reason, it's mostly like the F-35 just had it. I just tested a fix for Echo 19. They've got it fixed, so they'll be probably pushing an update to the F-35. By the way, I know I've already said this twice tonight, but I'm pretty excited about it. So I will say, we're developing a Fiesler Storch, Nerve Gas and I. So I met Nerve. This is why you should go to Expo, by the way. I met Nerve Gas. I met Alex for the first time at in person anyway, at the Expo. But I met Nerve Gas, and then him and I decided to work together on the storage when I was going to do it by myself. Well, now we're making really good progress on it, and I started doing the sounds and realized that I knew it was going to be tough, but I started to realize, holy shit, this is really tough. So, I mean, I took an extra step and learned, I took the WISE 101 training. I knew it wasn't going to really relate to Microsoft Flight Sim necessarily. Some of it does, but most of it doesn't. But I wanted to learn more about it. Oh, and by the way, Nick, you're good to fly the Huey. It's not so loud that it's bugging me, so feel free to continue to fly the Huey. I don't want to kick you out or anything like that. I did let Tog know, though, that his plane has a problem. He's got to fix it. But anyway, long story short, I'll be working with Echo 19 and doing contract sound work with them. And so I joined the Echo 19 team today, and I'm super excited about it because I have found in the last couple weeks, I love music, so I found in the last couple weeks, though, that I really have a passion for flight sim sound, and I think I'm so excited about it. So super excited to join their team. They made the announcement today on their Discord, they made it to their, in their team Discord. Which terrible. Which one was it? Because I have a list, but I can't find the list. Okay, so I want to give you guys my honest opinion about this plane. Even though it lacks in quality in many places, it doesn't completely lack quality. It definitely doesn't lack style. Even though I still wonder, did they pull these tires and just kind of stretch them out? Because it really, what it looks like is a little bit wider Cub tire with different textures on it. But that hubcap really gives it away, kind of. But I don't know if they did that. So, but with that being said, it doesn't lack style. It has a good flight model. It's a little underpowered than I thought it would be as far as taking off on a STOL, type of takeoff. But it's cool. It's kind of neat, and I would say for $8, it's definitely worth getting. And I forgot to check, does it have the capability to follow a nav plan? I don't know if it does. We're going to find out. I think that's what I was doing when I crashed. Well, see, they don't even use the Carenado 170B in eSTOL. And actually, which is, I mean, I know Cell does good work. But that 170B he did is old. I mean, that is probably one of the first things Sal did, if not, maybe somewhere around that. So I mean, it definitely could use an update. But they used that over the 170B, and the 170B one. See, do you guys know who Scopalicious is? He's from actually South Africa. Scopalicious did a mod for that, and it's a good mod, but you have to own it to use the mod, because he had to kind of like break the code, I guess. Excuse me, I had to break the code, I guess you would say. I don't know if this is going to follow a nav. I don't know if this is going to follow the nav or not. It doesn't seem like it's going to. And then also, I don't know where the hell the heading bug is at, but I just keep on turning it. Oh, maybe it's up here. Nah, we're going to find out. It might not be very strong. I noticed some planes are not that strong when they're trying to follow nav, but yeah, I would say overall impression on this plane, it's got character. Some of the textures are really good. Like this texture here, that looks great. See, you don't really realize like how much you're missing in textures until you like, you know, compare like let's just compare it, right? Like take a look at this. See this texture here, right? Look at it, it feels like it has like depth to it and volume, kind of like those hair commercials you used to see on TV in the 90s. And then you go to like this one here and just take a look at the difference that you'll see in like the realism or the thickness feel to the textures, right? Like, yeah, it's supposed to be shiny, but like, I mean, look at that. That just doesn't look good. So, you know, I don't know what, I mean, it looks good if you cross your eyes and stuff, but, and I mean, it looks good, like the panel matches, the tires look good, as far as textures go, you know, but anyway, long story short, I think that the plane is pretty cool. I think it's worth it if you like this kind of plane, and, so yeah, that would be my 2 cents. And the 2 cents is free. Rolly Mall, what's going on? Airwolf. Hey, Airwolf, it's been a long time, man. I have been getting off the stream early, so I know it's tough to catch my stream when I'm getting off at like midnight for you, bro, but it's good to see you. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about this. How does it feel in a slip? Doesn't really want to slip too much. Seems to be slipping okay, though. We're not gaining a bunch of speed. We really weren't gaining a bunch of speed when we had the flaps down either, though. Yeah. Yeah, so the flight model seems good. Flight model seems pretty good, I mean, from a glance. And it feels good. It feels, I talk about this a lot on the stream, but it's like, kind of get a sense of lift, like a sense of weightlessness kind of in your head when you're flying a plane sometimes. And I do get that feeling from this, so I think it's definitely an $8 plane, but it's a good $8 plane. So that's what I'll say. With that being said, we're gonna land here, and I'm getting back in the RV8, and we're gonna do a little more flying here in South Africa. Yeah, see, look at the difference in the textures, though. The textures make the plane now. Now that substance is a thing, I mean, textures make or break your plane. Sounds make or break your plane. You know, those are the kind of things which I think it's acceptable to reuse the Sobo sounds for a plane like this. I do. I mean, like, you know, the RV8 sounds are amazing. Like, everything on that. Alex, do you guys do your sounds in-house? Okay, anyway, YouTube, I want to say see you guys later. If you want to hang out more with us, come to the stream next time. It's twitch.tv/BurstixTV. You can come do flights with us like these guys back here. We got Airwolf. We got Terrible Guitarist. There was like, I think 10 of us earlier, but it's kind of getting towards the end of the night. So right now we have kind of there's like a shift switch around this time where I think the like European and like North American viewers are kind of like passing out and stuff like that, and then like the further like Australians and stuff like that come on around this time, which is why you're seeing Rolly Mall and other people like that. Good to see you, by the way, Rolling Mall. So anyway, YouTube, we'll see you later. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll talk to you guys. See you guys on the next one. Next video will be RV8. Came out today. Go check it out. It's in the Flight Sim store. It's at sws.com or whatever their website is. But you can just Google SWS RV8 and check that out too. But that'll be the next video. Keep an eye out for it.
Why is it so spicy?